All right. What's up, dogs and doggets? Welcome back to Week 5 of the NFL Pick'ems against the spread and straight up with your boys HarkDog25 and Fitzpatrick. How's it going, Fitz? What's new?
Good. 8-8. Finally, we reached 500. Haven't broken it yet, like you just did, but that's gonna be this week. We're slowly building up.
You were 8-7. There were 15 games last week.
Ah, yes, bye weeks. Okay,
yes.
We're over 500. Hooray!
Yeah. All right, let's go over the week and the yearly. For me, I was 9-6 win-loss and versus the spread, which puts my win-loss straight up 30-33 versus the spread 22-41. Still way under 500, but you know, if I go 9-6 and 9-5 every week for the next 5 weeks, it'll definitely help out. Fitz was 9-6 straight up and 8-7 against the spread. That puts 33-31. He's above 500. Wait a minute, is that the right total? Why am I 30-33 and you're 33-31?
Someone goofed.
You are 33-30.
All right, I'll take it.
Why the heck? All right, I got too many keyboards in front of me here.
Trying to give me one more loss, eh?
I was trying to make you. Yeah. Okay. Well, against the spread is fine. That's actually right. That's 63 games. Okay. Against the spread. What's that?
How did the coin do against the spread?
You don't want to know. The coin got 10.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
We gotta beat that coin this week.
Let me read off what the coin got right. Cincy, Jacksonville, Washington, Seattle, Buffalo, Chicago, Denver, LA, New Orleans, and Minnesota.
Come on, coin. That's just ridiculous.
The coin 10-5. The coin is dominating us. 17 and 14 the last 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, 31 games. Yep. So the coin is rocking. But let's jump into Thursday night game, which should be kicking off here in about a half hour. San Francisco at home, underdogs to the Arizona Cardinals by 3 points. Now Carson Palmer's been knocked out. Drew Stanton's playing, but I mean Arizona's 1-3. They're facing a lowly San Francisco team with not much of an offense and a decent defense. But I think Drew Stanton has enough. I think that defense is gonna put up a showing this week. And Arizona's going to win and cover this game. I just don't think, even with Drew Stanton back there, Bruce Arians will coach them up and they'll win and cover this game.
The way I see this game going is you've got David Johnson, best running back in the league right now. You've got Carlos Hyde playing really well. They're both going to get a touchdown, at least one tonight. So I'll say they get one each. That's 7-7. And I think the Cardinals defense is going to get a touchdown. We'll say 14-7, and I think throwing a field goal there for each team. 17-10 Cardinals win. Something wrong
17?
with that team, man. Like it's not gonna be a huge dominating victory. There's something wrong there. But
they already have as many losses this year as they did last year.
Yeah,
so.
well, I mean they're not Carolina bad, but they're something's wrong, and now they have their backup quarterback in. I just expect David Johnson to have a monster game, and I think San Fran will keep it close though. But they'll cover the 3-point spread. Arizona to win and cover.
Sounds good. Well, we're going to use a 1974 Liberty quarter here. Heads for home, tails for away, and it is going Arizona as well. The coin knows all. Unbelievable. All right, let's move on to the Sunday games. Cleveland Browns, underdogs to the Tom Brady-led New England Patriots. Patriots favored by 10 points in this game. A lot of people are saying Brady's gonna just, he's gonna kind of lull back into it. I mean, it's a away game. No, Brady's gonna come out. He's gonna get Gronk involved. He's gonna get Edelman involved. He's gonna fire that team up, and I can't see New England winning this game by less than 10 points. I got a 2-touchdown win for them. They got 35-20. Maybe they give a garbage touchdown at the end to Cleveland. But I got New England winning and cover. I just don't want to spend too much time on this one with Brady coming back.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm surprised that people think that Brady is going to be slow, as if he hasn't been steadying, keeping up his game. I know there's a stupid rule where you're not allowed to be in contact with teammates or whatever. I mean, come on, they can't be watching him 24/7. I'm sure he's done some things, he's been practicing somehow. He's going to be sharp, and Gronk's going to have a monster game. Edelman's going to have a monster game. It's going to be at least 2 touchdowns, like you said.
Yeah, I hope so, because I need Gronk to make some points on my one team. He's only got me 1 point this year. And the coin is a tails. New England. The coin knows what's up again.
Yep.
All right, next game. Detroit at home underdogs to the Philadelphia Eagles. Philly favored by 3 points. Carson Wentz coming off a bye week with that number 1 D coming in. Like they just boot stomped Pittsburgh going into the bye. Detroit's just a dumpster fire. I mean, they lost to Chicago. And Chicago was playing Brian Hoyer as QB in it.
Who saw
I don't know
that?
how
That
they'll.
was the point.
The coin saw it. The coin saw Chicago winning.
Yeah.
So maybe we should flip the coin first and see what it does. But I got Philly in this game. Detroit is just not good, even though they're at home. I just lost all respect for them that last game, losing to Chicago. I mean, Chicago's just so banged up. No running back. Kevin White's out. Alshon Jeffrey's hurt. Cutler's out. They lost Forte. Langford's out. I mean, that defense sucks, and they still lost to Chicago. It's unbelievable. So, Philly for me.
Yeah, I'm on Philly too. I'm definitely a believer in them to some degree after that Pittsburgh game. I'm not sure if I would pick them again against another team at that Pittsburgh level, like a top 5 team in the league, but I will pick them every time against a bad team, and Detroit's a bad team, so I got to go Philly here to win cover.
All right, excellent. Coin's going Detroit.
Oh boy, I smell an upset this week.
Yeah, I'm kind of want to change my pick right now. All right, next game. Indianapolis favored by 4.5 points against those aforementioned Chicago Bears. Like I said, Chicago, not much on offense. It's in Indy. Andrew Luck loves playing in Indy. He doesn't love playing in
London.
London. Man, that was just pathetic till the fourth quarter. But I got Indy winning and covering at home. I just don't think Chicago has the firepower to keep up with Indy at home in the Dome. Chicago they got nothing. I feel like Andrew Luck's going to have a big game, throwing for 3 or 4 touchdowns. T.Y. getting a big game. Gore. So, give me Indy here.
Yeah, Indy for sure winning cover. They've got a lot to prove right now, especially Andrew Luck under some fire. And you've got some people defending him and saying, no, it's all the O-line, it's management, it's the coaching. All I know is that if they lose this game, there's a very real chance that we're going to see a mid-season firing of Chuck Pagano. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, if they lose this game, this is absolutely a must-win, and I expect them to rise to the occasion and win comfortably with Andrew Luck having a big game.
All right. Coin's going Indy as well. Very nice, very nice. Next game, Miami at home, favored by 3.5 points against the Tennessee Titans. Now, Tennessee has just looked god-awful the last few weeks. They go up that punt return in Houston to Will Fuller, and they just couldn't overcome that. Lost 27-20. Miami, just as bad, just got stomped in Cincinnati other than that one long pass.
Yeah.
To Kenny Stills, they would have been shut out, in my opinion. I have Miami winning the game, but I have Tennessee covering the 3.5 points. I think it's going to be really close. So I'm going to take Tennessee with the points this week.
I've kind of flipped on this one. At first, I had Tennessee because I did pick them last week. I don't think they're truly awful, and they, in spite of what you said, they did make it close. They closed the gap in that game. They were down by more than 7, and they were crawling back, and then they just couldn't finish at the end. But Mariota, I'm not sure what to make of him. I've read people talk about the system, and I know when Malarkey was hired, everybody was like, well, what kind of a hiring is that? Why didn't you get Chip Kelly? He's actually worked with Mariota. It was a perfect match, but
right.
Whatever the reason, he's just not getting it done, whether it's the system or he's just not adjusting the NFL very well. I don't know, but they do have a pretty good running game right now. Meanwhile, Miami, they're quite the dumpster fire. Tannehill is proving every week so far that he is not a starting caliber quarterback.
Yeah.
Watching that game, my own analysis, the biggest difference between Tannehill and Dalton in that game, and instead of Dalton, you just say any good quarterback in the league, Dalton's pocket presence, moving in the pocket, moving laterally, stepping back. Dalton was he's top level when it comes to moving in the pocket. Tannehill, he stands still, flat-footed. He'll stare down his receivers. Just absolutely no movement, no peripheral vision, moving around to adjust to the defenders. So I don't know. That's the fundamental stuff that when you don't have that, I don't know how you can fix that and succeed when you're already several years into your career.
Yeah.
But going back to the game, Miami is at home, and again, Tannehill, he's got a lot to prove after last week where he looked straight awful. He just missed throws, no pocket awareness. So it's dumpster fire versus dumpster fire, but I will take the home team to cover. I just think something's missing in Tennessee. A lot of it's probably coaching, some of it's maybe Mariota, but Miami, I think they just have enough to get it done. Defense is not bad. They'll step up. Home game. Rebound from last week.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. We'll differ on that one. But me and the coin won't differ. The coin's going Tennessee.
All right. Well,
that bodes well for me.
Yeah, the coin didn't get every game right. Got a few right. Didn't get every game.
Yeah. All right. Next game, Baltimore favored by 3.5 points at home against the visiting Washington Redskins. Now, Washington was the benefit of aforementioned that we were talking about, fail fumble, where Duke Johnson recovered his own fumble, held it up in the air, and they gave the ball to Washington. Figure that one out. I mean, the league just dropped the ball.
Replacement refs.
And did not recover it, unlike Johnson, who recovered it.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. I think Cleveland would have covered the spread. I mean, Washington's a good team. I think Baltimore, we still don't know what they're like. We saw them come back against Oakland last weekend with the benefit of a fumble by Oakland to bring them back in the game.
Yeah.
But they were pretty much dominated by Oakland. I think Washington just has a high-powered offense, and I think Washington's going to come into Baltimore winning cover. I just don't think Baltimore has the defense to stop Washington. I think they got Jordan Reed finally involved a little bit more. He got a couple touchdowns. Matt Jones actually had a decent week. So that offense seemed to click a little bit more, and Cousin has the early season jitters kind of removed from him. So give me Washington to win and cover this week.
I think this one's Washington easily. If you just look at the stat line from last week, like you said, Oakland was dominating that game. Baltimore got gifted a chance to come back again there with that that fumble right near the end of the game. And Flacco just can't get anything done this year. He just can't. I think he is the new Dalton line where if you're worse than him, you're not good enough to start in the league. He's like the absolute bottom of what's passable as a starter. He doesn't make anything happen. He takes what you give him, and that's pretty much it. So I don't know. I'm really not a fan of this Ravens team all year. They're overrated, and I think the Raiders are going to. Sorry, not the Raiders. I think the Redskins are going to expose them this week.
Okay, good. Coin is going Baltimore. It does not believe in us. It believes in Flacco. It believes in that tattered defense with T-Sizzle, and it's going Baltimore.
We'll show them. Show that.
Yeah. Yes, we will. Next game, Minnesota at home, favored by 5.5 points against the visiting Houston Texans. Now, this is a tough game for me. Two decent defenses, but obviously Minnesota playing at home. They've just shown to play super tough at home. Beating the Packers, stomping the Giants on Monday night, and Bradford doing just enough. McKinnon and Asiata, a good two-headed monster, almost better than AP by himself, I think. And Houston did not look great against Tennessee. They obviously didn't look great against New England. I'm just going to take Minnesota to win and cover this game. I got to ride the hot hand. I got to ride Zimmer in that defense. I think he's going to figure out a way to make Brock think, kind of like Belichick did, and make him make some mistakes and put the ball back in the Minnesota's offensive hand. I think Minnesota's going to do just enough to win and cover this game.
Yeah, I got Minnesota winning and covering too. And it might be close, but I think the Houston Texans are the Baltimore Ravens. They're two teams that a lot of people think they're good, and honestly, we're just not sure. Are they good or are they not good? Because they've looked pretty bad some weeks. But I'll tell you who is good is Will Fuller. He's good. They got DeAndre Hopkins. I guess the question mark is just Osweiler. So, this season it's really about how good is he really, because they're 2-2 right now. So if they lose this game, they're below 500, and then all of a sudden, can't call a team that's below 500 really that good. And if they win, they're a 500 team. By the end of the year, I could see them finishing 500. I don't think they're a playoff team, but Minnesota is quite clearly a playoff team, if not division champs. Sorry, Green Bay. We'll see how that goes, but this game has to be Minnesota for me. Their defense is just way too good right now. Xavier Rhodes, shout out, playing amazing in the secondary.
Okay. And let's see what the coin thinks. Coin's going Houston. And Houston, I think, is actually... Yeah, Houston is actually 3-1 this year so far. They only lost to...
They're not 500?
Yeah, they're 3-1. They lost only to New England.
Okay, that changes it.
Yeah, well, let's go next game. Pittsburgh favored by a touchdown against the New York Jets. Now, Fitzpatrick has thrown 9 picks the last 2 weeks. The Jets' offense is sputtering. That defense is not as good as we thought it was. I mean, Russell had a perfect passer rating in the first half with a bum knee last week in New York, which is absolutely incredible. And Pittsburgh has gotten Le'Veon Bell back. They absolutely boot-stomped Kansas City. We saw that one coming. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win and cover this one. The Jets are just kind of a team that's in the decline. I think last year was their chance. They kind of caught lightning in a bottle with Fitzpatrick, and now he's just the lightning is gone, and it's replaced by just a tepid cloud floating by. So Pittsburgh to win and cover.
What's the spread in this one?
7 points, Pittsburgh.
Okay, you know what? I saw this game as being very close. I do think Pittsburgh is going to win, but I'll take that 7-point spread. I think the Jets will cover. I think Forte is poised to have a monster game. I think it's going to be, 20. I could see 28, 24, maybe. I think it's going to be a fairly high-scoring game. We all know what the Pittsburgh offense can do, but if Forte gets going, we saw the first couple of weeks how competitive New York can be, and their defense was amazing when they played the Bengals opening week. By rights, they really should have won that game, honestly.
Yeah.
They looked like a good team that week. In week 2, they looked like a good team. Kind of fallen apart since. But then we've seen what Pittsburgh can do against teams. We saw them surprisingly get slaughtered by Philly. Now, Philly is obviously pretty good, but are they really that good? I still think Pittsburgh is a much better team. I think you'd agree. So they're susceptible. They can have an off week. I think the Jets are going to keep it close enough to cover the spread.
Okay, we'll see what the coin says. Coin's going with you. Coin's going Jets.
Jets. That's Jets.
All right, next game, Denver favored by 6 points at home against the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Now, Atlanta just put a hurt. Basically, Julio Jones and Matt Ryan put a hurt on Carolina last week. They did try and come back, but which shows that Atlanta's defense is terrible. Trevor Siemian got knocked out in the Tampa game, and it did not matter. Paxton Lynch came in and just basically filled the void, and he looked good. Now, Denver is going to win this game, in my opinion, but I think Atlanta's going to keep it close. I think that offense just has too many weapons. Aqib Talib can't be all over the field. And Devontae Freeman's starting to turn up a little bit. Tevin Coleman. They got a good offense, so give me Atlanta with the points, but Denver is still going to win.
They don't just have a good offense. They have the best offense in the league right now. Easily. They've got Julio Jones. They've got easily the best combination in a backfield in the league. They're both playing out of their minds right now. They have the number 1 quarterback in the league right now. Apparently, their O-line is good enough to make all of that happen. So, I don't know how you could bet against them right now, and I can't. I'm gonna go Atlanta win and cover. I know that
Wow, win too.
Denver has burned me all season. I think I've bet against them pretty much every week, and they've shut me up every week. But this is, most teams I'd probably do Denver this week. I think I've learned my lesson, but Atlanta, I just can't. I bet for them last week, win and cover against Carolina. They did that, knocking Cam Newton out in the process. But
yeah,
he was kind of an idiot. If you saw, he slowed up at the goal line and got knocked because of it, right in the helmet. So I don't know. I just can't go against Atlanta right now until that offense gets slowed down, and this is probably the premier defense to do it. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna go with Atlanta to win and cover.
Yep. Usually, the defense does hold a good offense down, and that's what the coin thinks as it's going with Denver.
Yep, coin. We'll see. I don't think he can repeat this week.
Yeah, let's hope not. All right, next game. Dallas at home. Underdogs to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals favored by 1 measly point. Now, Dallas had to come from behind to beat the lowly San Francisco 49ers. They were down 14-0 before you could blink an eye last week. And then Dak Prescott led them back. Ezekiel Elliott had a big game and ended up winning 24-17. Cincinnati is a little bit better team than the 49ers. And I think Cincinnati is going to come into Dallas. Eifert, I think, is coming back finally. AJ Green's just a monster. They've had 10 days off since the previous game last Thursday. So they're going to be ready. They're going to be loose. And they're going to come into Dallas and win and cover this game.
Yeah, I got to go Bengals to win and cover too. The whole team has been pretty solid this year. Andy Dalton, if you're a fantasy player, you're probably seeing he's having kind of a down year. But he's been very, very solid the whole year. If you look at his yardage, he's got great yardage. The only problem is they haven't been getting it into the end zone. They keep stalling once they reach the red zone or just before. They're racking up field goals. You'll be happy if you have Mike Nugent. But they're going to put it together eventually. This team is just too good not to. And as the season goes on, hopefully their offense coordinator can make some adjustments and call some better plays. Surely that's part of it. New coordinator this year. Was looking. I don't know. I wouldn't talk too highly of him so far, just because of the whole stalling in the red zone thing. Yeah, and unfortunately Tyler Eifert had a setback practice. He hurt his back a little bit. I think it's just something minor, but it's gonna delay his return, so that doesn't help the team. But I think against Dallas, they're gonna get it done this weekend, and with the 1 point spread, not really any wiggle room to say Dallas can cover. So Bengals
right.
cover.
Okay, coin's going Cincy. That away coin. Cincy across the board. All right, next game. LA Rams, 3-1 LA Rams, favored by 2.5 points at home against the visiting Buffalo Bills. Now, Buffalo's got to travel all the way to the West Coast. We know how Tyrod Taylor does not play well on the road. I don't think he's won a road game in his career yet. And LA is very surprising. They've beaten Seattle. They've beaten Arizona, even though they got shut out by the 49ers that first week. And they've beaten Tampa. So they got 3 wins in a row. I think Gurley is going to play well this game. Brian Quick's been catching the ball. Kenny Britt's had a little resurgence. And Case Keenum actually making some passes, not making any mistakes. So I'm going to take the LA Rams to win and cover. I can't believe I'm saying it. I just don't think Buffalo, even after the big win against Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals, is going to come cross country and win this game.
Yeah, this is the one that I'm probably most unsure of this week. I want to say Buffalo, but I feel like the Rams have kind of earned the benefit of the doubt so far, going 3-1 after that horrendous week 1 where we all thought they were a joke, 1-15, 0-16 type of team. Geez, it feels like everybody, all the analytics, all the hardcore people are picking LA this week. And I think Buffalo, like you said, I didn't know that Tyrod Taylor was that bad on the road. And it is all the way across the country. Oh, geez, I want to pick Buffalo. I mean, I took them last week, and they did me right. They took out New England. I should be given two points for that one. But All right, I'll go LA this week. I gotta go with the stats.
The Rams. All right, let's see what the coin says. Oh, almost dropped it. Coin's going LA as well. Man, this coin is feeling my vibe. All right, next game, San Diego going into Oakland, so they don't have to travel too far. Oakland favored by 4 points. Now, Oakland's a good team, but they don't have a good defense. Not at all. We showed it against the Saints, showed it against Atlanta, showed it against Baltimore last week, letting them back in it. And San Diego has a good offense. They just don't have any defense. They don't really have any weapons, but Dontrell Inman had a good game. Hunter Henry, the tight end, filling in for Gates, had a good game. So I got Oakland winning this game, but San Diego covering. Phillip Rivers, borderline Hall of Famer, just finds a way to make it close with the people he's got, which is incredible. So give me San Diego with the points here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Oakland too, but win and cover. I don't think San Diego. That division has something like, I'd rather they have like 30 odd injuries in that division, the 4 teams, and more than half of them are in San Diego alone. So they are injury riddled, and Oakland's just a really good team. I think they definitely look like a playoff team this year. So I'm gonna take them to win and cover. Phillip Rivers is great, put up points, but I don't think they can stop Oakland. I really don't. I think they're gonna be able to cover the spread.
All right, Coin's going Oakland as well. I thought we had something going there, Coin. Thought we had something going. Going with Fitz. Okay, then we move on to the Sunday night game. Green Bay at home at Lambeau, favored by 7 points against visiting New York Giants and Odell Crybaby Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
Green Bay coming off a bye. I'm hoping this is the case. Last year, they went into the bye 6-0, felt strong about the team, came out and just sputtered all the way to the end. This year, they kind of sputtered the first 3 weeks into the bye week, and I think they're going to resolve. They're going to get Sam Shields back, Morgan Burnett back. Demarius Randall will not cover just the flat guy and leave Marvin Jones Jr. type receivers wide open because he can't do that. The Giants and Eli are a good team and a good passing team. I think Green Bay is going to win, but I think they're only going to win by 4 to 6 points. I'm picking like a 28-24 or a 31-27 game with the Giants covering with a garbage touchdown towards the end like Detroit did a couple weeks ago. So give me Green Bay to win, Giants to cover.
Wow, I had the exact same thought you did. I was going to take Green Bay to win and Giants to cover. So pretty much just said everything I was going to say. Geez, I don't know what. On a side note, I got somebody drop Eddie Lacy in our league.
Oh my God, I should have been watching.
He's had an absolute garbage season so far, but he'll probably bounce back. He's still the #1 running back in Green Bay. Stark's looked awful, hasn't he?
Oh God, he is terrible. He's averaging less than a yard a carry.
Oh my God, that's fullback. What is he? Taking dives up the gut every run. They know what's coming. Jesus. Well,
I don't know. It's terrible. It's terrible. But yeah, I mean, Lacy had a 100-yard game last game. Why do you drop somebody after they had a 100-yard game?
I don't know.
Well, it makes no sense. Oh man, that's funny. All right, let's see what the coin thinks. Coin is going Giants to cover also.
Jeez, maybe I should have taken the Giants to win, but yeah, I'll go Green Bay.
I think after a bye, I know McCarthy's gonna say get in Odell Beckham's head.
Oh,
get him
God.
in unsportsmanlike.
It's
get him crying.
Get
his mouth running, and give us some yards.
Yeah.
So
he is
okay.
Total head case.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the Monday night game, which is a big question mark. Carolina favored by 6 points against visiting Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, they're saying Cam might not play, but Derek Anderson came in last week and threw 3 touchdown passes in basically a quarter and a half. And I brought that game pretty close until he threw a pick 6 there at the end. But I think Carolina is going to right the ship. They're in Carolina. It's a primetime game. Jameis Winston has not looked good the last 2 weeks. Has looked god-awful, honestly.
Yeah.
And your pick of them making the playoffs is slowly slipping away with each passing week. So I'm going to take Carolina to win and cover. I just don't think Tampa Bay on the road is going to have the tools or the wherewithal to match with Carolina, who is aching for a win after a 1-3 start. I mean, they lost more games this year than they did all last year, including the Super Bowl, which is just crazy to think about.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm going to take Panthers win and cover. This is the kind of game that if they lose, it becomes a joke. Like, they're going to be an absolute joke if they lose this game. And their defense is supposed to be so good. They have so many good players on. I mean, their linebackers, Kuechly and Thomas Davis, that's easily the best pair in the league. I think it's just their secondary without Norman is clearly struggling badly. So I think this week they come out. Winston, as much as I like him, is extremely turnover prone, and that was the big knock on him coming out of college. He had a lot of picks, and he looked like last year that he was fixing that, but he's kind of having a sophomore slump, and he is throwing a lot of picks again. And I think
he is.
I think this is the week that Panthers defense steps up. I don't know about their offense, but I think that their defense is going to do enough. Maybe we'll get a pick 6. I wouldn't be surprised. So Carolina win cover.
Okay, well, let's see what the coin thinks. Carolina it is. The coin's pretty even again. 3, 7, and 7. So it makes sense. 7 home, 7 away.
That coin is functioning properly.
Yeah, I'm going 5 away, or 5 home, 9 away. You're going 6 home, 8 away. So the coin's very even.
All right.
Excellent. Well, we'll see how we do. We'll see if the coin beats us again. Hopefully, we have a good week here. Get some positive numbers. Yeah. And if you think you can beat us now that we're coming into our midseason form, leave your picks against the spread straight up below in the comments, and see if you can dominate us. Fitz, any last words?
I feel pretty good about this week. I think there's no way that the coin's gonna beat us again. The picks were all over the place. Some weeks, some games he went with me, some games he went with you. A lot of differences. So something's got to give. I think this is the week the coin finally has a bad week, sub 500, and I think I'm gonna go above 500 again. I don't know about, but feeling good.
No? Okay, sounds good. Well, we'll see y'all next time. Take care.